Hey guys, it's Catherine and I'm here today to do my January planner setup. I'm so far behind doing this because it is already January 4th and I meant to get it done at the end of December, but the holidays were just crazy for myself and for my family, so I'm doing it now 4 days late. And I'm sorry if you can hear my chair. I'm in a very squeaky chair today, so if you hear any random noises, it is just my chair. So anyway, these are the 3 notebooks that I'm using so far for 2019, and I'm going to get into these 2 in a later video. This is my 2019 Bujo. I'm using it, you know, just like a normal bullet journal. And then this is a Boss Babe template book that's by Luxe Book, and it's really cool, and I'm going to do a whole video on it for you guys later. But in the meantime, I'm just going to link to her shop and to this listing in the video description if you want to check that out. So for this video, I'm just going to do my standard digital planner, and I'm going to be using the Truly Yours planner for 2019, at least for now, because, you know, if you're not new here, then you know that I sometimes like to switch up my digital planners. So I'm just going to dive straight in to January, and I'm going to look through these layouts and decide which one I want to use. I'm probably going to end up going with this one, but I just want to make sure. Actually, I think I'm going to go with this one right here. So this is the 4th monthly layout. So I have these saved individually in my Dropbox. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that into Procreate. Okay, so now I'm going to select my stickers. I already know the sticker set that I want to use, but I can't remember the shop name. So I'm going to pull those up from Procreate. If this is your first time watching my videos and you're wondering about all of these stickers that I have saved in Procreate, check out the video description and I will link to a video where I show how you can set up sticker stacks in Procreate to organize your stickers so you can see all of them at a glance. Okay, so this is the kit that I'm going to use, and I forgot to check out the shop name. It's Print Petticoat Bandit, and this is her January 2018 kit, but I didn't see where the year was anywhere, so I can still use it for 2019. I just think these are really pretty. They have a lot of really pretty colors. So these actually don't have a transparent background because they are meant to be printed. So I'm going to erase this background in Magic Eraser. So to do that, I need to save these to my camera roll. And then I'm going to go into Magic Eraser. And I don't need to crop them. And I'm just going to select the white areas to erase. Sometimes it kind of erases the pink with these lighter color sticker sets, but it doesn't seem to be doing that for this set, so that's good. Okay, so now I'm going to save this set again to my camera roll. And now I'm going to go back to my planner page and bring it in there. So I'm going to enlarge this just a little bit. Okay, so what I primarily want to use from this kit is this January header, but I don't need the days. I don't need Sunday through Saturday right here, especially because I like to start my week on a Monday, and that wouldn't really work for this layout. So I'm going to just select this January box without the days underneath it. So to do that, I'm going to go up here to my ribbon, and I'm going to come down here and select rectangle. And then I'm just going to start kind of in the corner, as close to the corner as I can, and then drag. And that area looks pretty good to me. So now I'm going to let go. And I'm going to hit duplicate. So now I can hide this sticker stack, and this is what I've got for my January box. So looking at it now, it does look a little bit weird because it's got the top of this girl's head, but I am going to cut that off, I think. So the way that I'm going to do that, this is just the easiest way. I'm going to drag this banner to the bottom of the page. And I'm going to drag it off of the page as much as I can without getting rid of January. And then I'm going to hit this arrow again. And so now it kind of cropped the image. And you can still see a little bit of her head, but I mean, I'm fine with it. And now I'm just stretching it to fit Okay, so I think that looks good. So I'm gonna look at this image again, and I'm just gonna duplicate all of these numbers right here. And I feel like the easiest way to do it is to duplicate these numbers all at once and then do it individually, because there's just kind of a lot going on this sheet right now. So I am going to once again select this ribbon, and then rectangle is already selected from the last time that I used it. And then I'm just going to draw a rectangle around all the numbers and hit duplicate. And now one by one, I'm going to duplicate each number 1 through 31. Okay, so now I'm going to delete the layer where I had just all of the numbers together, and then I'm going to start placing these numbers individually. So I haven't brought in my days yet. I meant to do that first, and then I got really distracted and forgot. So I'm going to go ahead and start placing the numbers, though. I know that the first was on a Tuesday, so that would be the second box right here. So really quickly, I'm just going to group these together and then move them out of the way and then start placing them. Okay, so now I'm going to place my numbers for the first row, starting with 1. And I have magnetics turned on, but I think I'm actually going to turn it off because it's kind of affecting the way that I'm placing these right now. And then I'm just going to zoom in to make sure they're flush with the box. And that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so I finally have all of my numbers placed, so now I'm just going to flatten this group. And now I need to write my days. I think I'm going to write my days in gray. First, though, I'm going to save this pink color. I really like it. So I'm going to save that to one of my color palettes right here. And now I'm going to find a shade of gray and a monoline pencil or pen and write the days in gray. I think I like this gray right here. And I'm going to use this Mono SVG brush by Holly Pixels, and I'll link to this brush pack in the video description. And I'm going to write my days. I'm going to start with Wednesday because Wednesday, letter-wise, is the longest word of the week, and go from there. So and that's going to be way too big, but I'm still going to just write the other days and then size them all down at the same time so they're similar in size. And honestly, in retrospect, I should have turned on my lettering guides to write that. So actually, I'm going to delete that and then turn on my lettering or my drawing guides and then write the days to make sure that they are the same size. Okay, so now I need to size these down, and this is what I'm talking about for Wednesday. It's best to base your size off of how Wednesday fits. So I want to make sure Wednesday will fit over a box, and it does. So now these are sized good enough for these boxes. So now I'm going to place these days. Okay, so now I'm kind of thinking I want to put some kind of like paint stamp behind my days to make them stand out a little bit, and I want them to match this color right here. So first I'm going to group all of my days, and then I'm going to create a layer underneath the days, and I'm going to use, let's see, I just got some stamps from, I believe, the shop. Let's see, it says EC, and I can't remember the shop name right now, but I will find the shop. I know I purchased these on Creative Market, and I'll link to this shop in the video description. So let's see, these are the volume 1 stamps. I'm gonna see what this stamp looks like. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna just create kind of a header with this stamp. I'm gonna stretch it, and I'm actually gonna drag it a little bit past the calendar. And let me turn off my drawing guides to get a better view. Yeah, I'm liking how this is turning out. It looks really nice. So the rest of the stuff, I'm actually going to have to come back and pick this up tomorrow, which you won't know the difference in the video, but I just thought I would disclose that. I'm going to fill out my dates and then fill in these extra boxes and then do something with the top of this. And I'm going to figure all of that out tonight and then get that done tomorrow. Okay, so now I'm going to fill in my important dates for January 2019. And actually I have this little cheat sheet list here beside me. Since I use my phone to record my videos, I can't actually look at the calendar in my phone. So I'm looking at this list. So January 1st is obviously New Year's Day. So I'm going to write that in my calendar. And I'm going to use my signature brush for the rest of the stuff that I'm doing on this page. And I'll link to this brush in the video description. Okay, so on the 3rd, I had a therapy appointment at 12:30. So even though that's already passed, I'm going to still write it in to make my calendar a little bit more full. I feel like it needs something right there, so I'm gonna see if this comes with an appointment sticker or some kind of header I can put right there. I'm gonna use one of these boxes and then just write appointment in the box. Okay, so let's see. On January 4th, Sunny started back to school. I thought it was so bizarre that they decided to make the kids and the teachers go back on a Friday. Like, what's the point of that? Why couldn't they wait just 3 extra days and just let them go back on a Monday? It was so weird to just have them go back one day and then they're home for Saturday and Sunday, and then they go back to their regular schedule on Monday. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know who was responsible for that decision, but it's weird. And this is why I do everything on separate layers, like each word on a separate layer, so I can adjust as needed. And then once I'm happy with the placement, then I group them together and then flatten the group so it's one layer. On the 9th, Maddox and Ella have an appointment. So I'm actually going to copy this appointment sticker and then move that to the 9th. Okay, let's see. On the 11th, I have a doctor's appointment. Okay, so the 13th is my 30th birthday, which, guys, I am totally freaking out about turning 30. Not that 30 is old or anything, but it's just so weird that my 20s are over and I'm going to be 30. Like, that's just so bizarre. Like, my entire life, I've looked at 30-year-olds like they're, like, legitimate adults, like they have everything together. And that's just not the case. I do not feel like an adult, even though I've got 3 kids and I've been married for 5 years. I just don't feel like what I thought an adult would feel like, if that makes sense. And so it's just kind of freaking me out that I'm turning 30 and I still feel like I have a long way to go as far as, you know, like feeling like an adult. I don't know if I'll ever feel like an adult. So yeah, there's my rant about turning 30. But like I said, I'm freaking out about it. So anyway, I'm going to write it in my calendar. On the 15th, I have a therapy appointment at 9. So I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to copy another appointment sticker. Okay, so the 21st, Sunny does not have school. So I'm going to write no school. It's for Martin Luther King Day. And those are all of the dates that I have for now. I wish I had something to put like here and something within here so I could balance it out a little bit, but I don't. So hopefully I can go back and fill it in with some things later. Let's see. So I'm trying to think now what I want to do along the top and then what I want to do in these notes sections. I think in this box, I'm going to make this goals for January, but I think I'm actually going to cover up the box and then just kind of freestyle it over here. I think that will look good. So to cover up the box, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to my layer that has my calendar on it, and then I'm going to create a layer above that. And then I'm just going to select white You can select white a few different ways. If you have it in a color palette like I do, you can just select that. Or if you want to go to your disc, you can just kind of double tap up towards the top of this middle circle right here, and it'll make your pen color like a true white. So now on this layer above the calendar, and the reason I'm doing it above the calendar is in case I change my mind, it won't be on top of the actual calendar and I'll be able to just delete the layer. So on this layer, I am just going to trace over the lines that create this note section right here. Okay, so that is done. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. All right, so see on this layer, like I was saying, that's why I like to do it on a separate layer, because if I change my mind, I can just either delete or hide that layer, and then I have my boxes back. Okay, so now I think I'm actually gonna just kind of freestyle a little quote to put somewhere over here. So instead of just doing it on this calendar layer, I am gonna go to my main Procreate screen. I actually have a stack for lettering and for doodles. Let me find that right here. Okay, so I am going to create a square canvas and then play around on this canvas. So let's see. I'm gonna make this background black, and then I'm going to use these paint stamps that I have, and I forgot who makes these, but I am going to find them in my either Creative Market or Etsy purchases, and then I'll link to these in the video description because they're really cool stamps. But for some reason I just labeled them paintbrush stamps and I didn't put the name of the shop that I got them from. Okay, so let's see. Let's try this one. Yeah, I kind of like that. So now I'm just kind of warping the shape to take up this square. I actually need to zoom out because I accidentally cut off part of the stamp and I didn't want to do that. All right, and actually I'm going to change the color of this stamp. So to do that, I created a layer on top of it, and I'm going to do a light shade of pink. Let's see. And now I'm going to create a clipping mask, and then I'm going to group those layers together and then flatten it so it stays that pink. So now on top of this, I'm going to use a black I'm going to use my Smooth Moves brush. This brush can be purchased on its own or in my Ultimate Lettering Pack, and so I'll link to both of those in the video description. And I'm just going to write New Year, Same Me. Okay, so now I'm going to group these together and maybe play around with placement for a minute, kind of shrink it down. And I'm actually going to flatten this and then overlay this with my favorite gold foil texture by Blog Pixie. This is in her Glamour Textures pack, and I reference this in several of my videos, but I will leave a link to this in the video description for you guys because she has some great textures in this pack. Really just anything she makes is fantastic, but that pack in particular is my favorite. Okay, so yeah, I like that gold. Now I think I'm going to draw some hearts to fill in this space. So I'm going to go back to my signature brush for that and then just kind of freehand some hearts. And I actually like how some of those are filled in and some aren't, so I'm going to keep it as is. And I'm just going to save this as a PNG by turning off my background and saving it to my camera roll. I might actually end up sharing this on Instagram. I'm not sure yet, so I'm glad that I made it a square. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my calendar and I'm going to insert it from my camera roll. That looks good. Okay, so somewhere I want to list my goals for 2019. I'm trying to decide if I want to do it here or here. Not my goals for 2019, excuse me. My goals for January of 2019. I had to take it 1 month at a time rather than year-wide because my life is so unpredictable as far as like what I can get done and what's realistic for me. That changes month to month, especially 2018 because you know, that was Ella's first full year. She was born in November of 2017. So they just grow so much that first year. It's crazy. And they have major periods of sleep regression and teething and all this stuff. And I mean, they still have that, you know, in their second year, but it's just not as frequent. So it's just, you know, until she's a little bit older, things are going to continue to be a little unpredictable. Maddox is 4, you know, so he's not fully in a routine. Most 4-year-olds are a little bit hard to handle, to be completely honest, but, you know, he's just going through some 4-year-old stuff. So he's about to start school, though, in August. So I'm thinking at some point this year, I'm going to be able to get it together and actually have a schedule that is set in stone and that doesn't just change from week to week. That's what I'm hoping for, but, you know, if that ends up not happening, then I'm fine with it, because my kids come first. So, okay, so let's see. My goal for January is to, I know I want to eat better. That's a major thing. And I want to get at least 10 vinyl projects done this month. So I'm going to bring in a sticky note. These sticky notes are available in my Etsy shop, and I'll link to this listing in the video description. And I want to go along with the color scheme that I'm using. So the easiest way to do that is going to be to pull in this black sticky note and then just change the color. So to change the color, I've just brought it in. I think I want this to match a blue shade that's in this header down here. So I'm just going to press and hold. Oh, wait. This is still selected, so first I've got to hit this arrow up here to deselect it. And now I'm going to press and hold on that blue, and it changed my color up here. So now I'm going to zoom in a little bit to make sure I hit the black, and then I'm going to drag and drop that dot. I messed up, y'all. I keep messing up. Okay, I changed it back to blue. So now I'm going to drag and drop this dot on the black, and it changed it to that shade of blue, so it matches this layout perfectly. Okay, so now I'm going to move that sticky note over here, and I'm going to resize it to fit. I'm just going to make it pretty big right here. I am going to start writing down my goals. So I prefer these lined sticky notes over the ones with outlines, but I don't always write directly on the line. So if you are watching me write and you're like, she's definitely not writing on the line, that's why. I just think it looks cool, you know, when it's a little bit outside of the lines. So let me make my header. I'm still not good at flourishing yet. I've worked on my lettering for a few months, but I haven't quite got the hang of flourishing. Flourishing is these extra little swoops and stuff, but I mean, I'm getting there. Okay, so My first goal is to eat better. And then I want to do 10 vinyl projects. I want to get out more. We are so guilty of not getting out of the house very often because it's just very hard to get out. And my husband and I just both get so tired easily, and it's bad. But we're going to try to get out more this month. So that is another goal. All right, another thing I want to do is to get the hang of my sublimation software because I've not quite figured out how to use that yet. Let's see, what else do I need to do? I really want to find a brand ambassador in the planner community, in the digital planner community. So I am going to write that down. I don't know if I'll get that done this month, but I kind of want to figure out what all it entails. If that's something that you've ever done for your own personal brand, if you know, like, you know, what I need to do in order to get that together, or if you've ever been a brand ambassador, please reach out to me on Facebook because I have some questions about that. I linked my Facebook in the video description, so please contact me on there and I would appreciate it so much. Okay, there's no way I'm going to fit that whole thing. And I accidentally put it on the same layer as my heart, so I'm going to correct this really quick. I hope I spelled ambassador right. I really have no idea if I did or not. It looks right, but I don't know. Good enough. I need to remember to take my vitamins. Seems like I shouldn't have to write it down, but I forget all the time to take my vitamins. And then I have like this problem where when I forget to take them for long periods of time, which happens regularly, I start to get pains in my legs, like really bad at night. And then that reminds me to start taking them again regularly. But then for some reason I get out of the habit, and then it's like a vicious cycle where I'll stop and then I get those pains and then I'll remember to take them and then I stop again, start getting the pains, and it just goes on and on like that. Got a few more spaces. I'm trying to fill out all these spaces. Oh, I know. I need to arrange a giveaway because I kind of wanted to do a giveaway for reaching 1,000 followers, which happened so close to the holidays that I didn't get to do it at 1,000 followers, and now I'm almost at 1,300 followers. So I'm a little late getting there, but I also wanted to do a giveaway in celebration of my 30th birthday. So I'm going to combine those two and do like a multi giveaway with like 3 different prizes. And I've already got some of it worked out. I know what the prizes are going to be. I've just got to get it set up. So I'm going to try to set that up sometime around my 30th birthday, which is in like 8 days. All right, and also I'm working on writing something that I don't really want to even give hints about right now. So I am just going to write the word guide, and I know what that means, but nobody else knows what it means. I want to create some more layouts that I have in my idea book. So I'm going to write down layouts. Oh, I need to catch up on my YouTube videos. I'm so behind on uploading my Plan With Me videos. So I am going to definitely make that a priority this month to catch up on those videos so I can start releasing them again, and it's not like 2 weeks later. Also, I just want to work on my Instagram post. I just need to get a little more consistent with that and just kind of brainstorm ideas for things that I want to post. So I'll just write down Instagram. Okay, so now looking at this, I'm going to group all of these goals together, my header together, and the sticky note together. And I'm actually, let me turn off my drawing guide so I can get a better idea of how it looks. I actually think I'm going to move these two things up. And I want to put something right here. Let's see. First, I need to adjust this. Let's see. I'm just going to put the year right there. And I actually wrote the year kind of cool a little while ago for one of my notebook covers. So I'm just going to bring that in and put that there. And I think I might do like a gold glitter texture for it. I'm going to see how it looks in black first. I'm just going to significantly stretch it. So it's a little warped, but that's fine. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to find, I've got these washi tape stamps. So behind it, I'm going to place a washi tape stamp, and then I'm going to overlay that in gold glitter. So let's see. And I'll link to these in the video description as well. Let's just do solid. And I'm going to be using another texture from the Blog Pixie Glamour Textures kit. Let's do Gold Sparkle. And I'm not flattening that yet, just so I can see how it looks, because I might end up changing it to pink. Actually, what I'm going to do, I am going to keep that gold because that looks really pretty, so I can flatten that, and then I'm going to change the 2019 to this shade of pink right here. So let's see how that looks. I hope it doesn't clash. It doesn't show up great, but I know how to fix that. I'm going to duplicate it, bring it underneath, and then change this back to black, which I'm going to have to do a clipping mask for that. It's hard. It's easy to change like a dark color to a light color, but it's hard to change a light color to a dark color in Procreate. But now, thanks to clipping mask, you can pretty much change the color of anything. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, so up here, I'm just going to write January. I'm going to try to do it kind of monoline. I just can't figure out what I want to do up there. I don't like how that looks. Okay. Maybe if I just write it in print. Let me hide that. Okay, I'm going to turn off my drawing guides, and then I'm going to see what it would look like to extend this up. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so for this side, I've got these really cool letterboard stickers that I made, and I really love them. They're so much fun to use and to decorate. So I'm going to pull one of those in, and I'll link to these in the video description as well. And so I, again, want to match my layout. So I'm going to bring in this white letterboard right here. And I'm going to fill in the inside pink, and then I'm going to make the frame this blue color. So to fill in the inside, similar to how I changed the color of that sticky note, I'm going to just press and hold on this pink, and then all of these white areas, I'm going to just drag and drop this dot. And I have to do it for each area, you know, since there's lines. Okay, so now for the blue, I'm just going to match it from that sticky note, and then I'm going to fill in the frame. So I'll have to drag and drop 4 times for the frame. And I just love how Procreate lets you change these colors so easily. That's why I always make sure to include a white and black version of any of the clip art that I create, so you can customize it however you want in Procreate, because it's awesome. Okay, so I think what I want to do for this letterboard, I want to make it say, hello 2019. So I'm going to write hello in black, and I'm just going to write hello, and then I'm going to use a font for 2019. So the thing about these letterboards, if you decide to purchase them and use them, the way to make it look realistic is to line up your letters with the slats, kind of like you would, you know, on a normal letterboard when you have those letters that you just stick in there. I like to kind of play around with doing it with script as well, because you can actually purchase words for real letterboards that are like cut out, and it's a script font and it's in plastic, and they look really cool. And as long as like the beginning and the end touch a slat, it actually sticks in there, if that makes sense. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. So I just try to keep that in mind when I'm writing in script over one of these letterboards. So let me write the word hello, and I'm just going to start. I keep finding dust on my iPad. I'm sorry, you guys, our basement is dusty, so I get dust on my iPad every time I come down here. It's like a partially finished basement, so that's why it's so dusty. Okay, so I'm going to start on one of these lines, and I'm on a new layer, you know, so I can adjust things as needed before I merge everything together. So I'm going to start here. Okay, and see how that begins and ends on a slat is what I'm calling them. I can't think of another word to describe them. So that makes it look like, you know, it's attached to the letterboard. So now to use a font, I'm going to go into my graphic app and just type 2019 in kind of a plain font. Let me pull up graphic and then copy and paste it and then adjust it. I went back to Procreate. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I said I was going to do a plain font, but I think I'm going to do this Ink Bandits font, which isn't very plain, but it's a cool font and I can make it work. So I'm going to increase the size to the maximum size, and then I need to click off of this text box area, and then I'm going to copy it and paste it into Procreate. So I need to create a new layer, and then I can paste it. Okay, so now I'm just going to stretch this to fit. I'm going to make it pretty wide. And I personally always leave a space in between the lines on these letterboards to make it look even more realistic. That's not exactly centered, but it's centered enough for me. So I'm going to move this over just a tiny bit. Move the 2019 down just a little. Now I'm going to group these and group this. And then I'm not ready to merge it yet, but I'm just going to see how I can make it look over here. Yeah, I love that. That looks so cool. I know the last few areas that I want to cover, I want to put something here, and then I want to fill in these extra squares with something. So I am obsessed with TV. I have so many TV shows that I watch, and a lot of them are coming back in January. So I'm going to make a quick list on the dates that they're coming back and then write them down to the side because I don't want them to take up my calendar. So I think I'm actually going to do another little paint stamp and then write them on top of that. So I want to go with pink again because I'm just really loving this pink. I like the blue too, but pink is my favorite. So I'm actually going to try this stamp and then rotate it. Actually, no, I do just want to put some kind of quote there. I think that'll look better. I'm just going to Google New Year's quotes and see what I can find. I really like how that looks right there, but it won't match my planner. You know what? I don't care. I actually am just going to save this and use this as a sticker, and I'll link to this in the video description. It's from June Letters Studio. I need something to put here. Let's see what I've got to work with. I'm gonna look at the other stickers from that pack and see if I can pull any of those in that'll fit right there. Those are winter stickers. I'm gonna use this planner right here. I'm also gonna use these balloons. So to do that, I'm just going to copy this whole layer and then bring it in to my calendar layer. So I've got this layer selected. I'm going to click on copy, and then I'm going to go back to my calendar. I am going to create a new layer, 3-finger swipe, hit paste, and now I've got these stickers. I'm going to increase the size just a little bit. And first I'm going to copy this planner. And now I'm going to go back to the sticker layer, and I'm going to copy these balloons. I like these right here. And you know, these stickers are meant to be printed. They're actually meant to be printed and cut, and she provides the cut lines, but so that's why they have this gray outline around them. But I think the gray outline looks kind of cool for digital planning too. So now I've got these stickers. So I'm going to move this one here and resize it just a little bit. I was actually just talking to somebody about this the other day because they were telling me they were having a hard time resizing things in Procreate. Or not resizing things, moving things, because they were clicking on the image to try to move it and it would warp the image and resize it. And even though I use Procreate every day, still forget that you're supposed to kind of put your pen to the side of the image to move it, and then you only put it in the image. You can move it by putting it in the image, but more times than not, it's going to just warp the image when you do that. So I always put it to the side. I need one more thing to put right here. Let's see. Let's unlock that layer. Let's do this star. I like this star. I'm going to put the star in the middle to kind of balance out the sizes. Now I just want to fill in those empty boxes, but I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. I think I'm going to try to erase those boxes or hide those boxes, not erase them. I'm going to do the best that I can. Okay, so now I think the easiest way to do that, now that I've kind of disconnected those boxes and hidden that, I am going to draw a shape, any color, like I'm just going to select a color, that kind of covers that area, and then fill that in, and then come back and fill it in white. Okay, so now I can go back on top of that and fill it in white. So that did a pretty good job of getting rid of those boxes. So now, let's see. I want something here and I want something here, and then I'm done. I'm gonna do this pink again and go through my stamps again, my paintbrush stamps. And let's see what I've got. Oh, I forgot to create a new layer for the stamp. I'm gonna write 30 as the new 20 just to make myself feel better. And I'm gonna make that gold. So once again, I'm gonna bring in a texture by Blog Pixie. Let's try the expensive texture. Let's see, I'm gonna try this streaky brush that I made a while ago. It's in my Ultimate Lettering pack, and I don't use it very much. And I'm just gonna write Crush Your Goals right here. And I'll link to this brush and the pack in the video description as well. All right, I'm gonna do some hearts around that. And I'm gonna make those hearts this pink color that I've been using. And now to make it darker, I'm gonna keep duplicating it. And that just kind of darkens the color a little bit, so they'll show up a little bit better. And I actually think I'm gonna make Crush Your Goals blue, just like this. All right, so the last thing that I'm gonna do is erase this box up here, the same way that I did the other boxes. All right, so now I'm gonna do a heart. I'm actually gonna do a series of hearts, kind of like I did here. All right, and then I'm gonna bring in one more gold texture from Blog Pixie for those hearts. And I'm gonna do this one. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. It starts with an A. And yes, that looks good to me. So now I am going to save this to my camera roll and then go to GoodNotes and go to 2019 Truly Yours. And what I'm going to do, I am going to go ahead and delete all of the layouts from my January section because that's just what I like to do. And then I'm going to duplicate the blank page. So to do that, I'm going to select the blank page and click copy and then click on done. And then I'm going to hit this plus sign and I'm going to insert it behind January. So I'm going to paste copied pages And now that's the page, the one directly behind January that I just duplicated from my blank page. That's the page that I'm going to use to import this calendar on. This is my preferred way to do it, but you don't have to do it this way. And now I'm just resizing until I have the best fit. And that's it. This Plan With Me video has been so much longer than my usual Plan With Me videos. Oh, and I messed it up. Hold up. All right, so what I had done where I saved those pink hearts down here, I accidentally deleted those. So I'm going to delete this, and then now I'm going to save this page. And actually, I like the look of those black hearts with the blue lettering, so I'm not going to change those hearts back to pink. So now I'm saving this as an image. And now I'm bringing it back into GoodNotes. Okay, so now that is it, just in the nick of time. I only have 10% battery left. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more digital Plan With Me videos and digital planning tutorials. Feel free to contact me on Facebook or leave a comment if you have any questions at all. And make sure you check out my website, naptimealt.com, where there's tons of planner-related freebies that you can download now. Thanks.